Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my F1 2021 Custom Formula 2 season for the final round of the championship, and it is nigh on impossible to predict who is going to win this one. In the standings we are 3 points ahead of Yuki Tsunoda and 3 points behind Carlin in the team standings, so it is all to play for in both championships. You can see Daruvla and Dan Ticktum down there on the bottom end of the top 10. Very close on points as well with our respective teammates, but yeah, our main target is to beat Tsunoda, and the chances are that will sort out the team's championship as well. It is that close. So we continue through qualifying, which we are actually showing this time for I think the first time this season. I've mostly been skipping over it because it's not been particularly important, but every point is crucial in this final round, so if we can grab pole position, that's 4 more points for us, and even that alone would put us ahead in the team's championship, so that is potentially very crucial. We continue on, grab a bit of the grass on the way in to the penultimate corner, and yeah, it makes us have a bit of a moment, but nonetheless we managed to get through and for towards the line. We actually run out of fuel. We do have a slight improvement on our previous lap, but that lap could have been much better. But we ran out of fuel, and that was the end of our qualifying session. So we go on board with Yuki Tsunoda here to see what lap time he can do, and he goes up into 9th position.
So qualifying is complete, and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top 3 are Schumacher, Eilert, and Sean Gelael. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the feature race tomorrow, so make sure you join us there.
And he's not able to improve on that time, so it's definitely advantage us heading into this final race, as we managed to take 3rd. But yeah, Tsunoda down in 9th. That is not ideal for his hopes in this final round, but you never know, anything can happen, so we'll just have to wait and see. The races towards the end of the season can get a little bit crazy. Everyone getting a bit desperate towards the end of the season, wanting to prove themselves and secure themselves a drive for the following season, of course, and wanting to do the best they can and end the season on a high. We want to do the same, and that high is winning the championship. So let's get into it and see if we can get the job done today, but it's going to be close. Yuki Tsunoda will definitely be making overtakes.
We're close to the start of the main event here at Melbourne, Australia, for what should be an incredible race. Let's get started. First raced in 1996, this race circuit is one of the fastest on the calendar, and despite the lack of elevation changes, it's also one of the most thrilling to watch due to the varying corner types and high-speed straights, meaning there's something for every fan of the sport. Couple this with the typically gorgeous Australian weather, and it's easy to see how this has become such an incredibly popular race event. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubt about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Let's take a look at the grid positions for today's race. A fantastic effort from Mick Schumacher yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Callum Eilert in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Gelael, Matsushita, Giuliano Alesi, and Schwartzman, Samaya, Piquet, Tsunoda, Marcus Armstrong, Joe, Lundgaard, Daniel Ticktum, and Giotto, Dragovic, Sato, Aitken, and Jehan Daruvla, Delatraz, Mazepin, Markelot, and Roy Nissany completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Alright, so here we are on the grid then for the feature race down under. So let's just get straight into it as we go to the 5 red lights. and it's lights out, and away we go for the feature race in Australia. And it's a good start for us, a very good start for Callum Milot. He's going to challenge Mick Schumacher for the lead down into the first corner. We're going to have a little look up the inside as well. Schumacher fights back as we go a little bit deep, and it looks like Schumacher's going to hold on as we go for a big old slide there, and we just about save it and keep the car pointing in the right direction, but we've lost a whole host of places, and now we're going to be struggling to even stay in the points at the moment. We're down into 7th. We're going to have a look back up the inside and try and claim some of this back, but we're at the bottom end of the points nonetheless as we try and scoot around the outside, and we do retake the place from Pedro Piquet, who left us some good amount of space on the outside there. But it's a disaster start for us as we went tumbling down the order and into 6th position. Yuki Tsunoda also did not get away well because he's no longer or he hasn't gained anything at least, rather, so I'm not sure where he is as we get audio issues because we are following a Russian driver. Don't know why that happens, but it's happened consistently throughout this entire season whenever we follow Robert Schwartzman or Artem Markelov. I think it's even happened with Mazepin. We always get these strange audio issues, and it's only in the recording, but it's a very weird coincidence that keeps happening over and over. But I guarantee as soon as we pass Robert Schwartzman, the issues will go away. You can see we're close there as we continue through this race onto the 3rd lap now. We are starting to put the pressure on the Prema driver as we continue on, but we are not able to make a move all the way up until the DRS zone here along the main straight, and now will be our chance to get past Robert Schwartzman. We do so in the straight line rather easily there, and we're able to take the racing line down into the first corner, and we can continue on our way, and just like that the audio goes back to normal.
Schwartzman is behind you, less than a second separate you.
So yeah, now that Schwartzman is behind, those issues go away. Now as we continue on, that is, I think that's Guilherme Samaya going around the outside of Robert Schwartzman. So Schwartzman struggling again at this point of the race, but that's an interesting one. We go on board with Yuki Tsunoda, and now he's looking up the inside of Robert Schwartzman. So Tsunoda getting involved in the action now as well, and Schwartzman's dropping back. So I think he's got an issue, potentially some damage for Robert Schwartzman after our battles, but I'm not 100% sure. But whatever the case is, Robert Schwartzman is losing places, and we are actually... Guilherme Samaya was very close behind us there. He's having a decent run at the moment. But anyway, we go into the pits and get a new set of tyres. Now on the car, it is lap 11, so only about a third of the way through this race. This will be by far the longest stint, but we're out of pit lane, and a lot of wheel spin on the pit exit there, and lucky to keep that pointing in the right direction. We don't want to go ploughing into the barriers along the straight, just trying to get out of pit lane in a hurry, but we get a move on and get these tyres up to temperature, and we rejoin in currently 5th position once all the stops are made, so in a decent place still, currently just sitting ahead of Guilherme Samaya still. We've got Nobuharu Matsushita ahead, and we'll see what we can do to chase down the Japanese driver. A mistake there though as we go deep, and that costs us a spot to Samaya, so it's been a messy race for us with a few mistakes, and now we've got Yuki Tsunoda right behind us, so the championship fight is on right now. Yuki Tsunoda's been slowly picking his way through the field, one car at a time, and we are on the back foot here, making mistakes and fighting with cars that we really should not be fighting with, and really dropping away from where we've qualified. So it's well and truly time for Tsunoda to strike if he has the pace, but we're finally getting our rhythm back and putting some pressure on Samaya once again. So we'll see if we can overtake the Brazilian, who is running in a lofty position here. So we'll see if we can overtake him very, very soon, as we are just sort of waiting for an opportunity with the DRS advantage. Hopefully into the last sector will be our chance. We don't actually get the run that we want until we get to the main straight, and we will fly past with the DRS open, and this will be an easy move on Guilherme Samaya, and we'll be able to re-overtake him through the first corner. A bit deep though, onto the grass on the exit. That's going to really compromise our exit if we can't put any power down. And Samaya is going to fight back. Yuki Tsunoda getting involved as well, as there's a lot of cars bunching up here. There's another one behind as we are late on the brakes. Too late though, and we're going to go very deep. We just pull it up by the exit of the corner, but Samaya is back through. We drop back in behind the Brazilian. Tsunoda thankfully not able to get past us, so we have another big moment there on the exit of turn 4, but we managed to hold on to the car. Tsunoda still not able to take advantage of that, and as we continue on, we once again bring ourselves closer to Samaya, but Tsunoda has been dropping away throughout this lap, and I think he may have an issue as well, maybe a bit of damage. I think he may have had a bit of contact in that battle down into turn 3, so we'll see on a replay shortly, but Tsunoda has just entered the pit lane. Here's the onboard with him. You can see us going off the road there. Samaya choosing to go to the outside, Tsunoda being cautious there, leaving us a bit of room, but now towards the right-hander, he slots in behind Samaya, but as they get to the apex, he just goes a little bit wider and runs into the side of us, so that's unfortunate, and that's damage to the front wing for Yuki Tsunoda, and that's going to put him out of the title fight if things finish as they are, realistically at least. Mathematically still possible, I suppose, but here's the replay off-board in slow motion, and you can see the front wing making contact with the side of us for Yuki there, and yeah, he just was a little bit greedy on the exit, tried to run the car out too wide, understeered into the side of us, and damaged his own front wing there. You could see his line compared to Samaya, who left us a lot more space, and yeah, we at the point we made contact, we were actually still heading towards the outside, towards the edge of track limits, so we weren't chopping back to the right or doing anything over aggressive in that way. It's just unfortunate bit of understeer for Tsunoda there, probably in the dirty air of Samaya to give him the benefit of the doubt there. That's probably what caused that, even though he wasn't travelling through the corner at too much of a greater speed, but nonetheless unfortunate there. And Marcus Armstrong in the background, lucky not to get involved as well, but yeah, that's unfortunate for Tsunoda. But now we go down the inside, almost down the inside of Guilherme Samaya into the chicane there. That'd be a risky place to go for a move, but we backed out of it, didn't quite have the confidence to pull that one off. But we go for a very late move down the inside of Samaya into the final sector as we accelerate out. Those wheels spin on the curb into the wall, and that's taken us out as well. We're still in the race. Contact there with Christian Lundgaard, and we're into the wall again. Somehow we're still not out of the race. Front wing damage though, front wing completely off for us, but yeah, we just spun on the curb there. Big mistake for us, and Christian Lundgaard was the unfortunate one there, because he is out of the race. That was Marcus Armstrong taking avoiding action. He was able to get through, but Christian Lundgaard, the other ART driver, the front right wheel clean off the car, and he is stationary in the middle of the road, and that was Guan Yu Zhou finding his way through as well. And we actually got a pair of penalties for that incident, so 10 seconds penalty for us for causing that issue, which is fair enough, I suppose. But yeah, we need to serve those penalties. We need to get a new front wing on the car. This is going to be a very long stop. We can only serve one penalty at a time. So what we're going to do, we're going to fit the super soft tyres. These will probably be the ones we qualified on, and hopefully we can still catch the train and pit again, which is, well, we didn't catch the train, but we're going to pit again because we might as well. We lose less time pitting on the safety car, and we'll clear that other 5-second penalty, which we are doing right now, and that will put us back onto corrected time. But yeah, it's going to be tough to recover from here, because now we're actually on the super soft tyres that we did the first stint on, and these don't really have much life left in them. They feel pretty ordinary, to be honest, at the moment. So
okay, we can take you this lap.
what we are going to do is pit again, as the safety car is still out, and we'll go on to the other super soft set of tyres, which should be the ones that we qualified on, and they will be in much better shape I'm trying to not use the other medium compound set we have, because that's the one set for the sprint race. I think we can use it, but there's no point. So I might as well just finish this race on any other set of tyres other than those. Just anything that will work, basically, and take us to the end. We're not really fighting for positions at this point. We just want to get to the end. So yeah, that is that. You can see the safety car is going again, and we haven't even caught the field. So yeah, we have nothing left to fight for in this race. We're just going to cruise around to the end, basically, and that is all there is left for us to do in this race. We want to finish just in case. Oh, we've got a puncture on the front left tyre now, and that's definitely going to end the race for us in terms of fighting for any sort of position, as we have a bit of a moment there trying to control the car. But yeah, now we just have to putt around slowly with that puncture to make sure we can get back to the pit lane. But I'm continuing on just in case. Oh, there's a big slide. Just in case there is another car with a mechanical failure at some point in the race, or if someone else crashes or has any kind of issue, we can still gain an advantage by finishing. So I'm not going to retire the car just yet, just in case. I want to have every single possible advantage I can as we go for a bit of a play in the sand at this point. That's really all that is. And yeah, we get back on the road, and yeah, we need to get this tyre off the car because it is horrible. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to fit the wet compound tyres. It wouldn't let us select the super softs because this set's ruined, and the other set from stint 1 is too worn out to put back on the car as well. So we are going to drag the car back into pit lane, and we will fit a wet compound set of tyres to take us to the end once again, to save that medium compound. We can't put our first medium tyres back on either because the game automatically will put on the least worn set, so it'll automatically put on the green set of tyres. But yeah, as you can see, as we come out of pit lane, we're being lapped by the field.
We're not racing the car behind. Let them pass when you can.
And now we just have to get out of the way of all this lot. I don't think I've ever been lapped in a Formula 2 race. That's something new. So there you go, there's a first for everything. Meanwhile, up ahead, Mick Schumacher is the race winner today, down under. He wins the feature race. Great stuff as we come around the final sector on our wet compound tyres. This has been a very unusual way to end the season. We've still got a race to go, believe it or not, but we're going to bring it around for a 19th place finish, and somehow we're not going to lose ground in the championship fight. What a weird day this has been as we line it up and finally accelerate towards the line. We'll cross the line, 19th place.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
And I don't even know at this point. What a weird day. Felipe Drogovic gets the driver of the day.
A great win then for the Prema team today. And I have to wonder, Davide Valsecchi, just what set them apart from the competition here.
The safety car made a big difference today, there's no doubt about it. I can't be certain, but it would have been a very different race and probably podium 2 without it. What I do know is that they came out of that situation in a favorable position. The safety car really does alter the balance of the race.
As we look back on a thrilling race here today, we can now see the drivers take their places on the podium. It's a familiar sight by now, as it's another successful F2 win for Prema.
So, Mick Schumacher wins the final feature race of the season from pole position. Second place goes to Cal Milot, with Giuliano Alesi in third.
And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
Let's give it to Felipe Drugovic. That was a quality drive from start to finish. He can be proud of that one.
After all this drama, you would be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you there. Take care.
Alright, what an ending to this championship we have coming, because where both myself and Sonoda will be fighting our way from the back. In that race, Dan Tickton was able to take 9th place, 2 points, so we're close up to just 1 point behind Carlin in the team's championship, so Tickton earning some valuable points as both myself and Sonoda made critical mistakes in that race, and both sent ourselves tumbling down the order, especially my mistake was much worse, earning myself 10 seconds of penalties. So yeah, we can't do that again. It's kind of been the theme of this season so far. We've had good pace, we've been able to win races and all of that stuff, but we've made so many mistakes, and that's what's put us behind in the first place throughout the early part of the season. There was a crash on the last lap in Azerbaijan. It was probably one of the worst, but there's been many other cases where we've had some issues, but overall the pace has been very good. We've just yeah, fallen foul of our own driving skills, but nonetheless it's still 3 points between myself and Sonoda, and going into the sprint race where the points gap between each consecutive position is much smaller, so it will take a lot for Sonoda to beat us now. He's going to need at least a 6th place finish probably, which, I mean, he'll probably get there because he's just been that fast. He'll probably be able to pass the cars and make those places, but we'll see. There's the mistake for us, just up on top of the curb trying to put the power down and keep the drag race going with Guilherme Semaya, and the car just didn't want to deal with it, and poor old Christian Lundgaard there getting caught up in it. Front wing completely torn off for us, and all the other issues that went along with that. Alright, let's just move on from this. Let's get into the sprint race and try and end this championship on a high.
Welcome back for the final event of the weekend, the sprint race. Here, the top 8 from yesterday's feature race are reversed to make up the grid below us, and in just a few minutes, those drivers will be hurtling down into turn 1. Davide, is there anything we should be looking for in today's race? The teams are all very competitive at the moment, so are we about to witness a push from anyone in particular?
Hi Alex, the team will have been studying everyone else out there very carefully, so I think we are in for a very interesting event today. I can't wait to see how this race unfolds.
So here we are on the grid then for the final race of the season. It is going to be a no-stop, of course, just that fresh set of medium tyres we saved for this one. All going to be sunny conditions, nothing to interfere, so let's just get into it and get this last race underway as we go to the 5 red lights for the final time. It's lights out and away we go for the sprint race in Melbourne, and it's a good start for us as we immediately switch to the right and go down the inside of Robert Schwartzman, and we're going to go aggressive here into the first corner and try and gain some places down the inside, almost into the back of the Charouz car there, but we managed to avoid contact and continue on our merry way round the outside, a little bit off circuit, but we slot in behind Nikita Mazepin. Let's see if we can make another move here to the outside of the Russian, and we go very deep and aggressive there. We can't quite get any more places, but we managed to hold off Mazepin by doing that, and we slot in behind Louis Delatraz, who we almost made contact with down into the first corner. We get a decent run here. We might be able to make another overtake into this next corner. We go down the inside, little look up the inside of Luca Giotto. No way we could get through there as we continue to run side by side with Delatraz. This battle is going to continue on through the middle sector. We should be able to get the move done here, and we will. And we actually have a little look up the inside of Giotto. We have to hop over the curbs to make sure we don't make contact with the Italian, but we do get ahead of Louis Delatraz, and we slot in to 12th position as things stand. So a decent start for us and a chunk of positions made. And more importantly, we've actually overtaken Yuki Tsunoda in all that chaos. So that's a great start for us, and we've been able to take advantage of the traffic into the first few corners and gain an advantage there. So
P12, we have P12. Giotto's just ahead. Push for the position. Delatraz behind. The distance to the leader is 5.2 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 23 laps to go.
So yeah, we need to basically make the most of this and continue to try our best to push forwards in this race. Yuki Tsunoda not in the top 14 at the moment, so yeah, we just need to keep putting more and more cars between myself and Tsunoda, and by the end of the race we should be the champion. So let's see as we head down towards the first corner. Once again, we'll see if we can get close enough through these first two corners to maybe make an overtake on Luca Giotto, as we are sitting in the slipstream, having a little look to the left, a little look to the right. Can we make the move down the inside of Luca Giotto? And we'll make that one nice and clean and get ahead of the Italian in the high-tech car, and we move ahead and move ourselves up into 11th. And now we focus on Artem Markelov, this time following a Russian driver not having any audio issues. Here's a replay of the start though, and we'll focus on the front of the field here. It's Marino Sato and Felipe Drugovich on the front row. Sato getting away well. Drugovich maybe struggling a little bit, but as they head down towards the first corner, Drugovich maybe pulling alongside there, and he will get up the inside of Sato as they run side by side through turns 1 and 2. Sato just about holding the lead as they continue this fight all the way up to turn 4, and Sato comes out on top as Drugovich now looks to the outside. So Felipe Drugovich not giving up here. He's going to try and go all the way around the outside of Marino Sato, but he just can't quite get there on the exit, and the Japanese driver holds on to the lead for now. But it was a good fight from Felipe Drugovich. Meanwhile, we look back to us and we're trying to get past Artem Markelov. We look to the outside of the first corner. We're going to try and sweep around here, and we'll take that position and move ourselves into the top 10 and into, not quite into the points, only the top 8 scoring points in the sprint race. That's another spanner in the works for this one, but if we get a fastest lap, that will account for points. So that is worth noting, because we do grab that fastest lap as we continue to put the pressure on. We go down the inside and get past Calamirot there, and our next target is our teammate Dan Ticktum. And even if we don't need points to win the Drivers' Championship, we do need points to win the Team's Championship. So that is why I'm so desperate to get through the field. Dan Ticktum is currently in 8th, so with his singular point at the moment, that would draw us level with Carlin in the Team's Championship. We've got the fastest lap, but I'm not going to bank on that because that could be taken by anyone at any point. I don't want to risk Tsunoda or Deruvala taking that fastest lap from us. So it's crucial that we bank more than 1 point that Dan Ticktum is holding at the moment. So we're going to try and overtake our teammate here. Hopefully he doesn't give us too many issues. We go down the inside into turn 3, and we make that move nice and cleanly on Dan Ticktum. We give him plenty of space on the inside of turn 4, just in case he was thinking about fighting back, but that does not happen. We're able to get through and up into 8th position, and now we can try and secure the Team's Championship. That's what this race is about now. All we need to do is pass our Lacey, and we'll have that in the bank. As there's a caution up ahead, and that's Drugovich, Felipe Drugovich, with a huge issue there. A lot of smoke coming out of that engine. Very unfortunate there for the Brazilian driver in the last race of the season, and that is a mechanical issue for sure in the engine department there, and Felipe Drugovich out of the race in a cloud of smoke. Unfortunate, but we continue on. It's a free position for us, and now we don't need to pass the Lacey. We're still going to try, but that has certainly helped our cause in this championship in terms of both the drivers and the teams. We continue on though, and we are putting the pressure on Lacey slowly, chipping away and getting closer and closer. That's another issue. That is Guan Yu Zhou, the Chinese driver, out of the race with a mechanical failure as well. What is going on in this race? So many issues. And there's another one, Nikita Mazepin, out of the race now. The Russian pulling up at the penultimate corner on the outside. Cars are just falling off left, right and centre, and we're gaining places all the time. I think Mazepin was already behind us, but the other two pulled off from ahead as we go around the outside, but we can't quite make the move on Lacey the way we did on his teammate Markelov, so we have to sit behind the Frenchman for a bit longer as we continue forward in this race. We should try and get a good exit here. It's a bit of a tricky place to get a run, but we do have the advantage of slipstream and DRS, and we might be close enough this time to go down the inside of a Lacey, and we do just that and slide on through ahead of the Frenchman and move ourselves up into 5th position now with all those mechanical issues for the cars ahead. So we're really going to score some decent points in the end in this one, despite starting down the order. We go down the inside now of Mick Schumacher, and we just continue passing cars all the time. Next up is Matsushita. He's going to be a much tougher order, but we'll see what we can do. He's been a very solid driver throughout the entire season, Matsushita. Not in a title fight, but winning races and doing well on many occasions. So it's going to be hard for us to overtake him. But as we continue on, he's had an issue there. Matsushita with a spin at the 3rd to last corner on the circuit in the final sector. Matsushita spinning off the road as we have a bit of an off distracted there. But Nobuharu Matsushita has a major mistake there, and he is off and into the gravel trap. He is thankfully able to keep moving, so it won't bring out a safety car. But Matsushita binning it there, and that promotes us onto the podium in this race. What a turnaround. In this final race of the season. I've never seen this kind of luck before for us. We have made a multitude of overtakes, but more so cars in front of us just having issues, mechanical failures, mistakes. A big one there for Matsushita right in front of us. Lucky he spun off to the outside and didn't spin, towards the inside back onto the racing circuit. Otherwise we may well have been caught up in that, but nonetheless, we're promoted now onto the podium in this race. What a weird sequence of events we've had in this one. We've now got Guilherme Samaia running up in 2nd position as Marino Sato comes around the final corner, and the Japanese driver is going to win here in Australia. The final race of the season goes to Marino Sato as we come across the line to keep racing. What is going on here? We've crossed the line on the final lap and we still have control of the car. That is the end. What's happened? The end of the race did not trigger there. I'm not sure about that one. What's happened there? I'm looking at the replays. I'm going to use a flashback here to try and fix that. So here we go again as we head onto the straight for the final time. I actually wanted to re-record this. So here we go again. Marino Sato crosses the line to win here in Australia. Great drive from Marino Sato to win the race here. We go back to our POV as we come across the line to win the Drivers' Championship.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And the Team's Championship as well. It's been a good weekend. I don't know what that ending was. It was a bit of a weird glitch, but I thought I'd leave that in unedited just for the fun of it.
What a fantastic race that was, and an excellent win for the Trident team. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
It was down to one thing: consistent pace over everyone else out there on the track. We could spend a great deal of time talking about race and tire strategy, what else occurred on the track, but at the end of the day, the difference here was down to simply being faster on track than everyone else. Amazing skill on show.
It's the part we've all been waiting for, the podium finish, and it's probably one of the more unexpected finishes in a while. Trident take the victory, and Trident have made huge strides within F2 recently, and today proves that they're not only still in the race, they're in it to win. Congratulations to everyone on the team.
So it's Marino Sato who takes the win here. It will be Guilherme Samaia in 2nd position as we finish in 3rd to win both championships.
And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
I think it's got to be Sean Galeon. It's not always spectacular, but he quietly gets the job done, and that's the case today.
That's the end of today's race. Thank you for joining us, and I'm sure you'll agree it was a great race and sets us up nicely for the next installment in a few weeks' time. Take care. From Davide and I, it's goodbye.
Okay, this just keeps getting weirder. Why is Roy Nassani and what has happened there? Well, let's just ignore the results screen of the last race because I've got no clue what that was about. But anyway, something weird happened with the finishing of the race there, but it didn't affect the championship order, at least not for us. So it's no big deal, but that was a bit of a strange one at the end there. But anyway, well, what do we say about that one? Yeah, really, in contrast to the first race where everything went wrong for us. Well, everything went right in this one. Good start, made lots of places, cars fell off the road around us, some literally, some metaphorically, but we managed to keep it clean, keep gaining places when everyone else made mistakes or had their respective issues, and we were able to come away with a podium after starting, what, 19th or something, so I'll take that any day of the week, especially if it's going to win us the championship the way it did today. That was a strange finale, but well, it's been a strange season, so I guess it only fits. Unfortunate that we couldn't really have a good battle with Sonoda in this final race. We did. We came a little bit too close to him in the first one and didn't see much of him in the second one, so yeah, unfortunate that we couldn't fight the championship out in the traditional way, but nonetheless, we were able to have a fun race to end off the season, so I guess that's something. You could see Felipe Dragovic in the background there just a moment ago with all the smoke pouring out of his car. What a race though, like 2 cars having engine failures just a couple of positions ahead of us. It's very easy to get caught up in those incidents because you see the smoke and you don't always know exactly where the slow car is, so it's sometimes easy to get caught up in those. Like, thankfully we did not. That wheel is not turning. Maybe that's just a trick with the frame rate, but anyway. There's Matsushita having his moment, and there we are, champions. So that's going to be it for this one. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching. You can see the end results there, and I will see you next time when we go back to F1 2021 My Team mode. Goodbye. Also, if you're wondering how Roy Nassani finished 4th in that race, this is the moment he overtook about 15 cars. Yeah.